Hey, if you're watching this, then I know a little bit about you. You've got kids and you've been home for a while. Maybe it's been months or maybe it's been years, and you're heading back to work, standing looking at the mirror thinking, where do I even start? Maybe your makeup bag looks like a time capsule from 2019. Maybe you've been living on dry shampoo and chapstick, which has been perfectly fine, until now. This video is for you. We're going to do a 10-minute realistic, doable makeup look to get you ready, feeling confident, and out that door. So let's go. I'm going to get real with you for a second. Going back to work after being home with your kids is a massive life shift. And there's this weird pressure to immediately look polished and look like you have it together. But you've literally been keeping tiny humans alive this entire time, which is the hardest job that anyone can do. This routine isn't about looking like you used to look before you had kids. It's about helping you feel more like you. Be present, be confident, be ready to walk through that door. And it's going to take you less time than it takes for your kids to find their shoes. First things first, your skincare is your makeup prep. So ideally, you would have already done this step maybe when your kids were asleep or maybe when they were playing in the morning or whatever they were doing. So your skincare should be done by now and your skin would be ready to go for makeup. A quick tip when choosing the products that you want to put on your face is that you want to understand that your skin has likely changed quite a bit since you had kids. It's probably more dry. It's maybe feels a little bit more uneven. You might have more dark circles from the lack of sleep. And so you want to go with a product that's going to be a little bit more forgiving on your skin. This is where a tinted sunscreen or a skin tint is going to be the best option as your base. The purpose of the skin tint or tinted sunscreen is to even out your skin, but still make you look like you, just a little bit more put together. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Merit Uniform Tinted Sunscreen. Now, I've talked about this in my other videos, but I really like this product because it doesn't really look like there's anything on the skin when you put it on, but it does a really nice job in hydrating the skin and just making you look just a little bit more put together. So I just kind of throw this on. You can actually use your hands to apply this as well because it is a sunscreen. It just has a very natural tint to it. The product comes in different foundation shades rather than just a universal color of sunscreen. So you can find a shade that works and looks the best on you. So you're just going to slap that on. And there you go. You already look a little bit better than you did when you woke up. We have reached probably the most important step in your makeup routine, and that's color correcting your under eyes because sleep deprivation is real. You haven't been sleeping in months or what feels like years. So you're going to have some dark circles on the eyes, making you look very tired. So the key to this is you're going to want to go in with a pink or peach color corrector, depending on your skin tone. And you're just going to want to correct some of that darkness before you go over it with concealer. And it's just going to be a quick dab just like that. And then you're going to blend it out. And the reason why you're going to want to do this is because if you go in with your concealer right on top of that darkness, your under eyes are going to turn gray under the eyes. And it's going to make you look more tired and it's not going to make you feel as put together as you would like. So a color corrector is going to do a lot of work here in just canceling out a lot of that darkness so that you can look a little bit more awake than you feel. So now that that's done, now that I finished the color corrector, I'm going to go in with a concealer right on top. And you're not going to apply a bunch of product. Remember, you're going for a very minimalistic look for work. You don't want to put too much product on your face because that's just going to sink into lines. So just a quick, little dab of product. And anywhere else you might need it. So I get a lot of redness here on the side of my face. So I'll usually add a little bit of extra concealer there. But you add it wherever you feel like you need a little bit more coverage. And then you're just going to blend it out in those spots. So if you have a little bit of extra time, I would highly recommend you go in with a damp beauty blender or beauty sponge. And you're just going to press in everything on the skin. And that's just going to help remove any brush strokes that you might have on your face because you're working very quickly getting ready. So it's possible that you could have a bunch of brush strokes and we just want to eliminate those so everything looks very skin-like and polished. And as you can see already, everything's looking much more polished, but still looking like me. So brows really help define your face, but I hate doing brows and I'm sure you do too. One really quick way to do it is if you have really sparse brows or light brows, going in with a tinted brow gel, very quickly brushing it through is going to be a really quick trick. But if you have fuller brows like me, you're not going to need all of that. You may benefit from a brow pencil and just filling in any areas that you think are missing any hairs just to make it look a little bit more polished and help frame the face a little bit more. So we're just going to go and add that in and then we're going to brush them up, and we're just going to forget about it from there. Perfect. Now, I personally don't enjoy a clear brow gel because I don't like that sensation of the crunchiness on my eyebrows. But if you prefer that, absolutely do that. It will help make them look more defined and groomed. So now we're going to go into what I want to do, a bronzer blush hybrid, because we're trying to be quick. You don't have time or energy to fuss with a bronzer, a powder bronzer, a contour, a blush. No, you're going to go in with a product that can be both. This is Westman Atelier's Face Trace Contour Stick in the shade Toast. And the reason why I'm going with this shade is because this shade is brown, but it's also kind of red and pink. So because of that, it's going to serve as both a bronzer and a blush. So what I'm going to do is you can just swipe this directly onto your skin if you want. And you're actually just going to also put it on your cheek and anywhere you want a little bit of color on the face, kind of haphazardly. And then you're going to go in with a brush and you're just going to tap it to blend. You don't want to swipe too much on the skin because then you're going to be removing the products you put underneath. So you just want to press it, and help it melt into the skin on all the sides. Okay, I'm actually going to go in with this product a little bit on the nose. That was kind of a lot, but that's okay. Just going to pop that in. And then I kind of want to go in with a little bit more on the cheek. So I'm going to bring this in because it's both a bronzer and a blush. We're going to just bring it in a little bit more on the cheek like this. Okay. Perfect. Now the skin has color to it and you didn't have to go in with multiple products. You just went in with one product. If you wanted more blush at this point, you could add another cream blush right on top of that or go in with a powder blush on top of that. It just kind of depends on your personal preference and the level of vibrancy you want to go with. Personally, right now, I think this is good for just going back to work. I don't want to draw too much attention to my face. The final touch is going to be the lips. And again, I want to keep it super easy. I'm going to go in with a lip liner just to define the Cupid's bow and underneath my lips. And at the bottom. Okay, so that defines the lips. And then I'm just going to go in with a tinted gloss. I'm going to go in with the Merit Tinted Lip Oil. Whatever gloss or lipstick you have or that you love, just throw it on. The reason I like this product is because it's moisturizing and it's kind of 2-in-1 because it's moisturizing, but also has a tint to it. So it's pretty nice. Now, if you're happy with everything, the way that it looks, you do want to set it with either a setting spray, powder, or both. And the reason for that is since you're going to work, you're going to be there for quite a long time and you want things to wear decently. So you want to go in with your favorite powder for the under eyes. I like to use a loose powder under the eyes because I find that it looks the most natural for my dry under eyes. Now I got the loose powder on the tip of my brush and then I'm going to swirl it like this onto my hand because I want as little powder as possible. And I'm just going to tap it under the eye and around the eye, just like that. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. I'm going to have some product. I'm going to swirl it around and I'm going to set the other eye, just like that. And so I like setting the rest of my face too. I do have dry skin, but you can do this because it helps improve longevity and you don't have to if you like more of a natural, like radiant look. But I do like to go in with a translucent, the Say translucent powder. And I like this product because it's pretty undetectable on the skin, but it does help improve longevity. Let me just kind of swirl that baby on there. Bam, quick. And then lastly, before doing mascara, I like to go in with something on the eyes. By adding something on the eyes, not eyeshadow, okay? It's like I carried away here. Okay. Well, nobody has time for eyeshadow these days. But what you're going to do is you're going to go in with a powder bronzer. And you're going to take the powder bronzer and a brush. You're going to go in with your powder bronzer and you're going to swirl it into like a, brush, a crease brush. And you're just going to throw that all over the lid. And you do not have to be perfect. We're not creating some kind of crazy, eyeshadow look. But we're just adding some definition to the eyes. It helps hide any veins that you might have on the eyes, but it also helps bring the focus away from any darkness under the eyes. I'm just running a little bit on the lash line, squeezing my brush because I'm too lazy to grab another brush. And we're just going to put a little bit there, put a little bit everywhere, swirl it around, call it a day. But this helps hide the darkness under your eyes by kind of balancing a little bit of that tone on your eyelid. So you're going to do that. And then now the final touch is mascara. So go ahead and add your mascara because the mascara is going to really open your eyes. It's going to make you look more awake. Go ahead and slap that on and I'll see you back here. All right, so I'm back with the final look and this is me with mascara on. So this is what we're looking like so far. So I'm not going to just leave you here. I also want to give you a couple tips on how to elevate your look further. Now, you're probably familiar with the infamous Mom Bun. That's what we have going on here. So let's say, you don't have time for hair. I mean, who does these days, right? And wearing your hair down can be kind of overstimulating. So wearing it up is a good little tip. but you want it to make it look a little bit more work appropriate. So you can leave it like this with that, the infamous floppy bun at the top. And all you need to do is take this piece sticking out. You want to twirl it around and put a bobby pin in. And then you can take a couple of these top pieces and pin them down as well, so that the top of your bun looks a little bit groomed and it looks messy on purpose rather than, by accident. Another tip is I have a lot of flyaways and a lot of postpartum hair growth. So you want to slick that back. So you can use a product like the Day Cactus Styling Cream or any styling cream or any hairspray, anything like that, to smooth this down. So already by smoothing this area down and pinning this top part down, you're going to look like you tried a little bit more. But for me, I actually like to pin my hair down. So I'm going to show you that as well. This is a different method. But see, my hair is like not even brushed because again, we don't have time for that. So what I'm going to do is just put it in a low bun. A low bun adds less tension to the scalp. So it's going to be a little bit more comfortable. And you're just going to throw it back into a low bun like that. Okay. And then you're going to slick this down using a styling cream. So I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to take the styling at about this much, not too much. Okay. And you're going to swirl it around in your hand and you're just going to slick it down. And this is just going to make everything look like, it's going to make you look a little bit like you brushed your hair and that you didn't just, that you threw your hair back with purpose, right? And you're just going to look a little bit more polished overall, which is the goal here. So that's it. It just kind of brought down a lot of the baby hairs and it looks a little bit more groomed. One more final tip for you to make you look a little bit more polished going to work is just add earrings. Add some chunky earrings that are more noticeable. Okay, see? Adding earrings, all of a sudden, it makes you look a little bit more put together and intentional. So you could throw these on. If you have time, you can also throw them in your purse and throw them on while you're driving to work or in the parking lot before you go inside. But ultimately, adding some earrings is going to help you look a little bit more polished and also make the makeup look a little bit more intentional. So that's it. That should have taken you about 10 to 15 minutes with the hair. And you're walking out the door feeling like a person again. Not just a mom, but a little bit more like you. I want you to remember, you don't need to look perfect. You don't need a 37-step makeup routine to feel better about yourself. You don't have to match whoever you were before. You're doing something so brave right now. You're going back to work and you deserve to feel good doing it. This routine is just a little tool to help you get there. Let me know in the comments, are you headed back to work? Are you going back to work soon? Or are you already back at work? What's one thing that you were the most nervous about? I read every single comment and I'd love to cheer you on. If this video was helpful, please give it a like. It generally helps more moms find this video. And subscribe if you want more content like this tailored to the specific season of life that you're in right now. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.